England 1, Croatia 0. Great start to the Euros. Come on, England. Hello and welcome to our match reaction. England 1, Croatia 0. First time England have won an opening game in the Euros. So for me, I thought we played okay, to be fair. As England matches go, it was sort of drama free. That's why I feel like I'm all right with the performance. First of all, as well, I just want to wish, obviously, Christian Eriksen a massive speedy recovery, because yesterday in that Denmark game, it was just horrendous to watch, and the scenes were just shocking, to be fair. So I just want to wish him a speedy recovery. But back on to England. Villa fans will know we was all probably gutted at the starting lineup, seeing Jack out. I was a little bit disappointed seeing the defensive right back and a left back. For me, that was just a bit Southgate-ish, but I thought we played okay. Started the game quite bright. Foden looked lively when he hit the post. The first 20 minutes we looked very good, and then we sort of went into our shell a little bit, and it looked like it was going to be a classic England performance. But all in all, I thought it was good. I thought the standout player for me was Phillips. I thought he was brilliant today in the middle, running through the lines. I thought he had a real good game. And obviously, Tyrone Mings, I think question marks have been on him, but he certainly stepped up on the international stage today. And he put in an absolute solid performance. I think just before half time, when he sort of stopped Modric in his tracks as well. I was just like, go on, Mings, get stuck in. But all in all, good start to the Euros. Few negatives. I'd like to see Kane involved a little bit more. Obviously, would like to see Grealish play. But Justin, what was your vibe?
One of the weirdest games I've ever watched England, to be honest. I'm disappointed. I'm chuffed. Let's start with the positives. I'm chuffed we've won the game. Obviously, it's very important. We haven't never done it before to get off to a good start. So we've won the game. Fantastic. But I can't get out of my head the Southgate vibe about the way he doesn't trust Jack Grealish. Now, we are basically a Villa podcast who are covering the England game. So I think it's fair for us to maybe comment on Jack Grealish, and for me, he's one of the most talented footballers of the generation. Yet he doesn't get a sniff today, and I don't know the reasoning behind that. Only Southgate can say that. Ultimately, we won the game, and the chap who started in Jack's sort of position, where you would think he would play, scored the goal. I thought Sterling did okay. I thought he was all right. I just cannot get it out of my head. I'm finding it really difficult to sort of get on with it, as you can hear with my voice. I want England to do so well, but I've never seen a player of Jack's ability play for my club who has gone on to represent England, and he's been totally underused in my life. Now, there's a long way to go, so things can change very quickly. An injury, a suspension, comes on and changes a game. He's in the game, so let's maybe hold fire a little bit. I thought we did pretty well. I think you're right what you're saying. Kalvin Phillips was outstanding. Tyrone Mings looked faultless at the back, and we won the game. So ultimately, job done. But I worry about Gareth Southgate. I worry about his tactics going forward. He's a very defensively minded coach. Croatia, for me, were awful today. I thought they were a really, really poor team. They've got players that are coming towards the end of their career now. They're not the Croatia that we played 3 years ago, who were a free-flowing, attack-minded. You got Modric, 35, 36 nearly. You got Perisic up front, 32. Vida's in his 30s. So they're your three big players for them. They're past it, aren't they? And for me, 2 shots on target against an awful team with the attacking options he's got at his disposal, it worries me going forward. Scotland will not come and sit back next week. They will have a go at us. They've got nothing to lose. And if we get out of this group now, it looks like we're going to finish top. We're going to be playing France, Germany or Portugal. So God help him if he carries on the way he's going. But I want to stay positive. We won the game. We'll get out the group. And then I just hope by then Jack's in the team, because I see him as a game changer for us. And I'm not going to... I'm not going to apologise for that. I'm just not. I'm a Jack Grealish fan. I don't care. He would improve any team in the world. And yes, we was all right today, but you put Jack Grealish in that team, and we're a totally different kettle of fish. That's just my opinion. People might not agree with it, but that's why I think I'm a little bit tainted today by that game.
I think with Southgate today and the team selection, it seemed it was a must not lose. Get off to a good start, get some points on the board, create a little bit of momentum. That's the vibe I had from it today. You saw it with his substitutions. They were all very, very safe, weren't they? His first one was Mr. Reliable, Rashford, coming on. Depends on him. He's one of his favourites. I just feel like today's performance was more about just getting a result, and I would
But why do we have to be like that, though? That's what I'm saying. Why do we have to, as a nation now, why do we have to be like that? You watch Italy the other day, young team coming through, go and smash them, lads. Go and express yourself. Put down a marker, show everybody what you got, and let's just go for it. We don't do that, do we? And
but I think as well with that is Southgate's trying to keep his, and I know he's probably not. He's not. Job's not on the line, is it? Because technically he hasn't done anything wrong yet. But
no,
one bad tournament and he's probably gone. So I just feel like that's just the way he is, and you know, he's Mr. Safe, Mr. Dependable. He just wants to keep everything sort of perfect, really, and I just don't think he wants to shy away and be too open in the first game, and that's the way I'm looking at it. I just hope that go moving forward, because let's be honest, 3 points can probably get you out of the group.
But it's a shame, isn't it, Luke? It's a shame. We all know the players we've got. We all know the ability in this squad. It's a shame that we don't just go, let's go for it.
But that's what I'm saying. So now 3 points could probably get you out of the group. Let's hope that we are going to start to see a little bit more of a forward-thinking Villa. So we've got a first time on tonight, my mate Luke. Great to have you on. I always cut his hair, so we always chat about Villa and football. So what did you make of England today?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I thought it was a good game. I mean, it had peaks and troughs. I think the heat probably played its part with that side of things today. I thought the first half an hour was really positive. I was quite buoyed by what I saw in that part of the game, and then I think it sort of naturally petered out a little bit. I agree with you. I thought Calvin Phillips was the standout player, and I think what I was pleased with today. I've been a bit sceptical in some of the in the pre-tournament friendlies and stuff, when I've seen two holding style midfielders like Rice and Phillips both playing in the same team. I agree, on paper it looks a bit negative, but I felt that today Phillips was playing a bit further forward than Rice, which he just looked a bit more box to box than how I've really seen Calvin Phillips play before. And I thought it partnered Declan Rice really well, who was just doing, the unseen things, really, just behind the scenes, just mopping up where he needed to, really well. I thought Tyrone Mings had a really solid game. I was really pleased for him because I was a bit nervous for him, if I'm honest, before the game. Obviously a big day for him. But I felt that he did the basics, which was all he needed to do today, really, against what was quite a toothless Croatia. But the main thing, from my opinion, I feel that we just dealt with the Croatian midfield really well, which is where you'd have to say probably most of their quality on the pitch these days comes from, with the likes of Modric and Brozovic and Kovacic as well. So yeah, I felt that it was a job well done, really. Nothing to, go crazy about. I don't think today, but I think at the end of the day, it's just about getting the 3 points from arguably the toughest team in our group. Because if we'd drawn, or certainly if we'd lost, those next couple of games would be pretty nervy going into, with a lot at stake. But we've released a bit of pressure going into those next two now, which is, job well done. And I think in the end, everyone really did their job. So no complaints from me today.
But I think you analysed it perfectly. And I think one of the big points for me was getting the win. Is like you're saying, it takes the pressure off the next game. How many tournaments have we been going into that second game, sort of chasing points, adding pressure on ourselves when it's not needed? So bring on Scotland. I'm excited to see how they do in their first game against Czech Republic. See what they're all about. Have a little look at McGinn. See how he's playing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he plays really well. Ryan, what do you make?
Yeah, I think McGinn and McTominay will give us a sterner test than what we had today. Really, I'm with Justin. It's a bit of a strange one. I'm obviously delighted that we won, but just a bit underwhelmed, really. And like Luke said, the first half an hour we were brilliant. The press was great. We were closing them down. We was attacking, but it sort of only really come in fits and starts, didn't it? Throughout the game, it just it dropped back into Southgate ball, didn't it? Where it was, like you say, all too conservative, really. I'm a bit calmer than Justin on the Jack situation. I think another 10 minutes and he would have come on. I think he was on that touchline. The fans were singing his name, and then the goal happened, didn't it? And I think he brought Rashford on the right hand side because that's his preferred position and on the counter attack. So Jack's time will come. I'm sure of it. We're expecting a Gaza moment against Scotland. Really feel him coming on and doing something there. And like Luke said about Phillips, I was in the group chat when I was screwing that Phillips was in because I honestly thought they were going to be side by side with Rice. And it hasn't worked. It's never worked. He doesn't play that position for Leeds. He plays on his own in that holding role. But today, he really impressed me, man. He was full of energy, full of bite, and technically very good as well. That assist for the goal, he took it on his right foot, brought it in and laid it off with his left foot. It was a brilliant assist. So he impressed me. I thought Jordan Pickford was very focused. So that was reassuring because obviously that position's been up for debate. And Tyrone Mings, again, you lads have touched on it, absolutely brilliant. The one thing that did concern me about the lineup, though, is the Trippier situation and Southgate's comments after about he went with Trippier because a bit more defensive and he wanted to be a bit more solid. I get that, he's been working with Simeone. He's improved defensively, but it's not his natural position. And what message does that send out to Shaw and Chilwell? Chilwell's just won the Champions League and he didn't even make the squad. So what message does that send out to Chilwell? Or you only play for against weaker opposition and I trust my right back more than my left back. And there is times when we're going to be up against better teams and we're going to need that balance. We're going to need a left-sided player supporting our left winger and getting balls into the box. So hopefully it will all evolve and, we'll grow into this tournament now. Like Luke said, we didn't want to lose it. We've got the win, great. And it's a case of building now and growing into the tournament.
Definitely. So we'll round it up there. Buzzing that we won, but, question marks still around certain areas. But we'll be back to preview the Scotland game and some of the games that are coming up this week as well, and have a little bit of review on the tournament as well. So thanks for watching.
Luke, can we just put in?
Yeah.
Mr. Plaza Time contributes loads of questions, doesn't he? Loads of talking points. He had his little guild in there. So well done, mate.
Congrats, mate.
Congrats, Gary.
Yeah, you've got your hands full now, mate. You aren't putting them questions in anymore.
We'll get one.
No more watching the England matches anymore now. That seems gone.
Nice knowing you, mate. Cool. Cheers, everyone. And we'll be back in the week.
Up the England.